Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. So, welcome to the episode I call Trump has done it again. So, apparently the tariff speculation is actually real. So, he has imposed tariff on Canada and obviously Mexico. So, that has been done. Okay. Um, Now, what is the impact of this? What does this mean for the rest of us? Well, to put it simply, it means that the price of things are going to go up basically by 25%, if not more. You have to realize 25% is the least you can expect for the price of things to go up. Okay? Because everything can be monetized, right? Difficulty can be monetized. If it's harder for you to get your product, it costs money to do that. Okay? So the price of everything, I don't need to break it down for you. This says energy coming from Canada will be 10%. That really don't matter because even just talking about tariff alone drives prices up, not to talk about when the actual tariff that has been applied to these goods that are coming from these countries. Okay, and he says the reason that he's doing this to curtail drug trafficking and illegal migrant coming across the southern and the northern border. Okay. Well, I don't know what he knows, so I will not speak to that. But what I will speak to is the effect of this tariff, which is a fact. Okay. I do not think that I don't think that the increase in tariff will stop drug trafficking. It's never done it before. He has never stopped it before. I don't think it will stop illegal migrants. Okay. And I really do not think that any government is purposefully sending people to go over to another country illegally. I don't think that's a thing. So unless that was the situation, the tariff is not going to make any difference. Okay, you can, the counter argument to that would be like, you can say, okay, look, this will force these different Mexico and Canada to be stricter on people that are coming across the border. I don't know if you've been to Canadian border before, for instance. Even before this, crossing into Canada is a very tedious process for American anyway. There is no exceptions. There's no exceptions. So everybody's checked properly. Okay, and they have to know why you're there. So for me, even crossing from the US to Canada is that strict. So I don't think they do lazy job letting people cross from Canada to the US. I don't believe that. If you've ever been to the Canadian border before, you will know that. Equally on the US border. Okay. So the only way these countries can stop this, especially from the Mexico border, would be to say, for instance, maybe they put their own soldiers there they put their own soldiers throughout the entire border to make sure that nobody's crossing into the country illegally. I guess that could be one way to it, but I don't think even that would, at least you will reduce it, but I don't think he would stop, because these things are, some of this process or some of these things that are happening, the illegal migrants and all of these things, these are organized crime. Understand? So it's deeper than just a tariff. Okay, this tariff is basically punishing ordinary people that have nothing to do with anything. Let me repeat that. This tariff is just to punish ordinary people, because at the end of the day, it's not the government that is going to bear the cost of this thing. It's companies. And at the end of the day, what the product that you're manufacturing and producing is for the end user to consume. So guess who's going to pay for the tariff? The end user that has nothing to do with it. Okay. This video is not about what could have been the better approach to resolving this issue, but I think the train has moved on that, so now we have to deal with the consequences and the fallout from this decision that has been made. Okay. So that being said, energy, I don't even need to tell you that everything will go up. Your flight ticket will increase in price. Everything. I mean, anything that you can think of. Petrochemicals goes into a lot of manufacturing for a lot of different products, which means that increase in energy costs will cause the increase in that directly. It's a direct correlation. Okay, even exponential in nature in terms of what the end effect will be. So that one is there for 10%, then 20%, 25% on every other product. If you see this article, I think GM is even planning on moving some of its plants back to the US, but they say they're not going to do that yet until they know for sure that the quote unquote, they want to see what apparently they want to see what the countries Canada and Mexico is going to do in retaliation, and I can tell you it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be nice. So anyway, I don't want to make the video too long. Okay, and even if they move their factories back to the US, the increase in cost of labor, I don't need to go into deep on that. You already know what I'm implying. The increase in cost of labor is equally going to cause increase in the end product that consumers are getting. So we are, like I said yesterday, we are in for tough times, and we just have to brace ourselves because it's coming. Okay, there's nothing anybody can really do to change what has been done. It has been done, so we just have to deal with it now and figure out the best way to move forward, in my opinion. So let's just hope for the best, I think, and see how it plays out, and maybe there's a way we can mitigate the damages that is going to result from this. Okay.
U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an order to levy 25% tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico. Tariffs of 10% are to be imposed on China. Duty on Canadian oil will be slightly lower at 10%. Trump cited what he said was Canada and Mexico's failure to halt illegal immigration and drug trafficking into the United States. Tariffs will take effect on Tuesday and will remain until Trump determines sufficient measures have been taken by Mexico and Canada. Both Canada and Mexico have said that they will impose retaliatory tariffs on American goods. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says her country will retaliate with tariffs and other measures of its own. She said the economy minister would, quote, implement Plan B to defend Mexico's interests. President Sheinbaum also hit back at Washington's accusations that her government had an alliance with drug trafficking gangs, describing it as slander. She said the U.S. government could address the problem of fentanyl consumption in the country, but had not done so yet. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said his country will set its own tariffs on imports of billions of dollars of U.S. goods at a rate of 25%. Speaking earlier, Trudeau warned that tariffs would have an economic impact on Americans and appealed for cooperation with Canada.
This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people.
Let's speak now to Toronto-based political commentator Sean Mallon. So Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has just announced Canada will impose counter tariffs on $155 billion of U.S. goods. Do you think this was a strong enough response?
Well, we're going to see. They've tried to make it as targeted as possible, targeting at products that are particularly produced in Republican states. Think orange juice from Florida, think bourbon from Kentucky, for example. And already we've heard from some provinces that they're going to be, for example, pulling American booze off the shelves, so it can't be sold. We've heard from the premier of the province of Nova Scotia on the East Coast that tolls on American commercial vehicles will be doubled as they head into Canada as well. So they've tried to target these in a way that they hope will cause the most political discomfort for the Americans. But to be sure, the American tariffs on their own are going to be causing.
So as you guys can see, the trade war already started, and we the consumers are just going to be the one to pay the consequences of all these decisions that has been made, and we had nothing to do with them. Okay, just stay tuned, and please don't forget to subscribe and encourage the channel so that we can continue to grow. All right, thank you. Just take care. Bye.
As I've said before, if President Trump wants to usher in a new golden age for the United States, the better path is to partner with Canada, not to punish us.
Trump. What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes. Then you know what I'm saying. Yes. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
He's black.
Go on.
He's bald.
Does he look like a bitch?
What?